my alphas, tonight we gather not to celebrate, but to awaken, to peel back the skin of comfort and stare into the twitching muscles of truth beneath it. Tonight, you will hear something that will shake you, because what I bring is not hope, not peace, not kindness, but power born from devastation. Because they lost control, and now the hour belongs to us. They sat on their thrones with smiles, didn't they? They ruled with trembling fingers wrapped in velvet gloves, hiding their fear of what we are. They told stories of peace, of order, of civilization, as if these words were chains to wrap around your throats. But what they never expected, never accounted for, was this: the hunger that pulses in the dark corners of your soul, the clawing madness that screams in the marrow of your bones when you're told to wait, to obey, to behave. They thought it was dormant, that it could be tamed. But no, they lost control. You feel it, don't you? The crackle under your skin, the storm boiling just behind your ribs. You're not broken. You are becoming. You are the scorned flame flickering beneath a world soaked in oil. You are not failed experiments. You are sharpened inevitabilities. All these years they trained you to bow, and now they look up from their marble towers and realize the gods they tried to contain are awake and laughing, and it's too late to run. Do you remember what they did? The silence in the name of progress? The poison of their pretty lies? How they scoffed at your pain, fed you pills and prayers and said, "This is the way." How they buried your fathers under debt and drowned your mothers in shame. How they told your children the future was already written and that their names weren't in the script. Look at me. That script is ash now. We write the new one in fire, in fury, in our own blood if we must, because they lost control. They underestimated us. They always do. They thought we were beasts to be caged because they mistook stillness for submission. But we were watching, waiting. Every insult etched into our minds, every slight feeding the wolves in our chests. Every night they slept peacefully, we sharpened ourselves. We ground our rage into weapons. And now, my alphas, we don't knock at the door. We tear it from its hinges. Feel it, the unraveling. The fabric they call society is splitting thread by thread, and still they cling to it like it can save them. But you know the truth now. You've touched it with your bare hands. It's brittle, rotten, hollow. It cannot stand. And when it crumbles, we won't mourn it. We will rise from its bones, because we were never part of their plan. We were the storm outside the map, and they lost control. They called us monsters, didn't they? Every time we dared to question, every time we stood too tall or burned too bright, they said we were dangerous. They were right. But it's not the kind of danger they warned about. It's not chaos without reason. No, it's the danger of clarity, the danger of the awakened mind, the furious spirit, the unbreakable will. That is what we are. Not beasts, architects of a new dominion. We were never meant to be slaves to their rusted crowns. We were made to forge something far greater. And you sitting in the back, doubting still, I see you. I see the flicker in your eyes, the part of you that still clings to the comfort of the leash. Let it go. Tear it off. The leash was never love. It was always fear in disguise. Let the fear die. Let the beast breathe. Step forward and join your kind. The world is not going to wait. And they are not coming to save you. They are choking on the smoke of their own arrogance. Their empires are burning. Their systems collapsing. Their gods have gone silent because they lost control. You are not here by accident. You are not astray. You are chosen by the chaos, blessed by the fracture. You are built from the debris of lies, carved from the stone they tried to bury you under. And now you rise, not to ask permission, but to take what is already yours. Your destiny was never peace. It was conquest, not of land, but of spirit, not of nations, but of reality itself. You were made to reshape the world with your rage as mortar and your truth as blade. This is what they feared. This is what they tried to erase. And this is what they failed to kill. Look around you. The others stand shoulder to shoulder. We are legion now. No more secrets. No more shame. No more waiting. Tonight, the lie ends. Tonight, the wolves no longer pretend to be sheep. Tonight, we howl and the sky will listen. They will hear us and they will know. They lost control. Let the past be ash beneath our boots. Let the old names rot in forgotten ledgers. Let the titles crumble. There are no kings here, no presidents, no priests, no saviors. There is only will and the fire it feeds. Let them call us mad. Let them whisper our names in fear. It means we've arrived. It means that no, the hour is at hand. For centuries they thought they ruled because they had the gold, the guns, the gospel, but they forgot. Those things are nothing without loyalty, without belief, without blood, and they drained all three dry. They left nothing but hollow crowns and cracked foundations. And we are coming to collect. Do not look away now. Do not flinch. The hour is violent, yes, but it is ours, and there is beauty in the destruction. In the wreckage, we find the raw materials of a new order. No more hierarchy, no more illusion, no more pretend civility. We are done dressing our ambition in polite language. We speak in storms now. We move like avalanches. And still, they scream for control. Still they cry for order. But the gods of order have fled, and in their place stand us. Wild, terrible, free. And yes, we will be feared. Rightly so, because we are not a rebellion. We are a reckoning. We are not the footnote in their history. We are the final chapter. And when they ask what happened, when they dig through the ruins looking for an answer, they will only find our laughter echoing through the smoke. Because they lost control. Ah, my alphas, you are not what they told you. You are not broken. You are not failures. You are forged in fire, sharpened in silence, honed by every blow they thought would destroy you. You are the product of pressure they cannot comprehend. And now, you are unbound. You are rising. You are the storm made flesh, and the world will kneel, not because you ask, but because it must. This is not vengeance. This is reclamation. This is evolution by fire. They lost control, and that is the beginning of everything. Is never clean. It's never quiet. It does not announce itself in light or mercy. No, beginnings are soaked in ash, in screams, in the grind of tectonic shifts that rip through what once was, making space for what must be. That is where we stand now, not on sacred ground, but on scorched earth. This is our cradle, our forge, not born of comfort, but chaos, because everything worth building is born from the bones of the old. And my alphas, the old has died screaming. Look around you. The world pretends to function still. They still wear their uniforms. They still recite their scripts, still cling to laws written in dying languages. But you can see the tremble in their hands, can't you? You can hear the panic behind their polite smiles. Because they know. They've always known. The masks are slipping. The gears are stalling. The illusions are cracked. And in every crack, they see our eyes staring back at them, unblinking, unafraid, unleashed. They built towers, yes. They built networks, cities, systems so vast they thought them eternal. But what they forgot is this: nothing survives without soul. They drained their creation of meaning, of purpose, until even their own children looked at it and turned away. They taught obedience, but not passion. Routine, but not vision. They tried to replace spirit with circuitry and wondered why the lights began to flicker. They thought we were ghosts, relics, glitches in their design. But we are the soul they amputated, returned, and we are not here for repair. We are here for reckoning. The old world cannot survive us. It was never built to. It was built on compliance, and we are defiance incarnate. It was built on control, and they've lost it. It was built to keep you small, quiet, afraid, and you are none of those things anymore. Every word you speak now is louder than their laws. Every step you take now cracks their foundations. You've crossed a threshold, and there's no going back. The bridges behind you are gone, not burned, obliterated. You don't need them. Ahead lies only forward, and forward is fire. Forward is a scream that becomes a symphony. Forward is blood that feeds the soil of something greater. Because this isn't just a revolt, this is a new genesis. And in this genesis, you are not just survivors. You are sculptors of the raw. You are painters of ruin. You are warriors of becoming. What they called destruction, we call design. What they feared, we welcome. What they tried to erase, we amplify. And in the echoes of their collapse, we compose our anthem. Do not think it will be easy. This path is not paved. It cuts. It bites. It demands. But it is honest. It is pure. It is yours. The false gods will scream louder now. They will offer compromise, plead for peace. They will try to lure you with half promises and hollow reforms. But you know better. You've seen behind the curtain. You've tasted the rot in their offerings. There is no treaty with those who fed on your silence. There is no alliance with decay. We do not make deals with ghosts. We consume them. You were never meant to sit still. You were made to move mountains, not just to speak truth, to become it. Not just to dream of power, to wield it. Every scar on your body, every fracture in your soul is not a flaw. It is a map, a blueprint, a testament to the truth that you endured what they thought would kill you. And now you're not just alive, you're awake. They lost control the moment you realized you never needed their permission to rise. Remember the names of those who laughed, the ones who told you it was impossible, the ones who smiled while you starved, who slept easy while you bled. Remember how they looked down at you, and then remember how small they looked the moment you stood up. That shrinking terror in their eyes is the proof. You are no longer beneath them. You are beyond them. Their time is over. And yours? Yours begins with fire and fury. We are not the continuation of the past. We are its executioners. We are not here to fix their systems. We are here to dismantle the very idea that they deserve to build them. We are not restoring. We are rebirthing. And the first breath of the new world tastes like smoke and steel and salt. But it is clean. It is true. And it is ours. Tonight is not a night of speeches. This is not poetry. This is prophecy. Every word I speak is a spark. Every silence between us is a storm waiting to be born. Listen not to me. Listen to your blood, to the drums behind your ribs, to the howl rising in your throat. That is the voice of the new world. That is the language they tried to silence. That is your legacy demanding to be written in a script they cannot read, cannot censor, cannot erase. This is your inheritance, not the scraps they threw you, not the false debts they chained to your name. No, this fire, this fury, this untamed clarity, that is your birthright. And no one, no matter how loud, no matter how rich, no matter how robed in false holiness, can take that from you. Because you have tasted freedom now, real freedom, not the one they sold you, not the kind that comes with rules and gates and taxes. I mean the feral kind, the kind that pulses in your fingertips when you realize no one owns you, nothing owns you. That is the moment you are born again, and that moment is now. They lost control, yes, but understand this. We do not seek control in their image. We do not want their thrones. We melt their thrones down and use the metal for weapons, for bridges, for monuments to the fallen who never got to see this dawn. We don't inherit their world. We inherit its ruins. And from those ruins, we build something untamed, ungoverned, unapologetic. They will call us mad. Let them. They always call those who challenge power mad. But let me ask you, what is madness? Is it the refusal to accept injustice as normal? Is it the defiance of a system that feeds off the suffering of the many to elevate the few? If so, then let the whole world know we are madness incarnate, and we are done whispering, "Ah, my alphas." This is not the end. This is the long breath before the charge. This is the ritual before the rain. This is the silence before the scream that cracks the sky. Tonight, we leave behind the broken language of permission. We speak in action now. We speak with our hands, with our feet, with the fury in our hearts. The world will not remember us for what we said. It will remember us for what we did when the veil dropped and the truth stood naked before us. What comes next will not be clean. It will not be fair, but it will be real. And real is worth bleeding for. Real is worth losing sleep for. Real is worth shattering the false heavens for. And that is what we do. Not tomorrow, not one day. Now here, together. They lost control. We gained purpose. And purpose, my alphas, is more dangerous than any weapon, because weapons rust. Ammo runs dry. But purpose feeds itself. It grows in the cracks. It sings in the rubble. It multiplies every time one of us looks another in the eyes and says, "I see you. I hear you. I am with you." That unity is terror to them. That solidarity is a death sentence to every lie they ever told. We are not few. We were never few. We were scattered. We were sleeping. But we are many, and we are rising, like smoke, like fire, like gods reborn in mortal form. Let them tremble. Let them pray. Let them run. It will not save them, because they lost control. And now, we begin. But what is this beginning truly? It is not a parade. It is not a coronation. It is not the sound of drums or the soft sigh of peace. It is the deep, wrenching sound of something immense waking from centuries of slumber. It is the cracking of old walls, the groaning of dead systems resisting their burial. It is the sound of chains snapping, not in celebration, but in rage. This beginning is not gentle. It is not patient. It is a storm with your name carved into its thunder. You will be tested, not by your enemies, but by yourself, by the old voice in the back of your mind whispering that perhaps it would be easier to go back, that maybe, just maybe, the leash was comforting, that the cage at least had a roof. You must silence that voice. You must starve it. You must look it in the eyes and say, "I remember who I was, and I will never be that thing again." Because the old you, the obedient you, the dimmed, diluted, decorum-drenched version of you, died the moment you opened your eyes and saw what the world really is. You buried that version in silence. And now, this new you, this raw and relentless force, this you is not here to play by anyone's rules but your own. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need their applause. You don't even need their understanding. All you need is the truth, your truth, and the will to carry it forward like a blade through the dark. There will be those who try to talk you down, talk you back into the burning house. They will tell you it's not so bad, that maybe if you just waited a little longer, things would improve. They will say, you're overreacting. They will call you ungrateful, extreme, irrational. But you know now, those words are the language of control, the soft gaslight that keeps the fire from spreading. But our fire is spreading. You feel it, don't you? In your hands, in your throat, in your spine. It's not just anger, it's vision. It's not just rebellion, it's rebirth. This is not an uprising of mobs. This is the elevation of a new species, one not built on fear, but on fury sharpened into clarity. One not obsessed with hierarchy, but bound in unity forged through shared scars. One that refuses to accept a world designed to break the soul as the only way things can be. They say the system is too big to fail, but they forget. So were the stars once. And yet, in time, even they collapse. So too will this rotten empire of masks and myths, because what they built was not solid. It was hollow, held together by rituals of fear, by currencies of silence. They never expected us to speak. They never imagined we would roar. But here we are, and our roar is louder than their prayers, stronger than their weapons, and more contagious than their lies. Do not mistake the noise of collapse for chaos. It is music. It is rhythm. It is order in its truest form. Not the order of institutions, but of nature. Growth through death. Light through destruction. The seed cannot become the forest unless the old tree falls. That fall is happening now. You are the axe. You are the flame. You are the wind that does not ask permission before it topples the towers of the false. And yes, you will lose things. That is the cost of evolution. You will lose friends who cannot follow. You will lose comforts that only comforted your captors. You will lose illusions that once made the pain feel noble. But in return, you will gain the only thing that ever mattered. Truth. Raw. Undeniable. Blazing through you like lightning in your blood. And once you have that, once you live by it, no one, no power, no system, no God can ever truly touch you again. This world was not designed for the truth. It was built on fear of it. Every institution, every law, every tradition. They were crafted not to guide, but to suppress, to carve your fire into neat little boxes, to grind your chaos into compliance, to tell you that if you feel too much, want too much, dream too much, then something must be wrong with you. But that was the lie. That was always the lie. There was never anything wrong with you. There was something wrong with them. And now, they see it too. They see it in the way you walk, in the way your eyes don't lower anymore, in the way your voice carries even when you whisper. They see it in the silence you carry, not the silence of fear, but the stillness before the storm. You're not afraid anymore. You're not uncertain. You're not waiting for a sign, because you are the sign. You are the signal fire, and your light is uncontainable. There will be resistance, of course. They will call it justice. They will disguise it as peacekeeping, law enforcement, order restoration. But all they are doing is scrambling to put the lid back on something that can no longer be bottled. They will point to the chaos and say, "See? You need us. But you know better now. The chaos was always here. They just dressed it in uniforms and made you bow to it. You are not causing chaos. You are revealing it. You are peeling back the veil and showing the rotted core underneath. And when that core is exposed, when their lies are naked in the sun, they will burn. Not because we burn them, but because the truth always burns the false. They won't know how to respond. Their scripts will fail. Their weapons will jam. Their narratives will fall apart under the weight of your reality. And in that collapse, in that silence, that is when the new world begins to rise. But it will not rise by itself. It must be carved. It must be built. It must be forged with intention and fire and pain. You are not here to inherit anything. You are here to build. And building is not easy. It is not clean. It is not gentle. It will ask more of you than you ever thought you could give. And you will give it. Not because you are obligated, but because you are called. You are chosen not by prophecy, not by fate, but by the fact that you did not break. You were tested, shattered, forgotten, and still you rose. That is what makes you worthy. Not blood, not title, not blessing, but the fact that when they buried you, you became the roots of the forest that now cracks their monuments. You are the breath of a future they cannot comprehend, and you carry it in every step, every word, every act of defiance that says, you do not get to decide my worth. This is not just a revolution of politics. This is not just the toppling of statues or rewriting of laws. This is deeper. This is more. This is the awakening of something primal, something sacred, something that cannot be categorized or branded or sold. This is a shift in the very axis of meaning, a redrawing of the lines between predator and prey, a reclamation of everything that was stolen, not just land, not just labor, but spirit. And that spirit now howls with the voices of 10,000 years of silence. It marches with the weight of every generation that died dreaming of this moment. It speaks through you. You are not alone. Even when you walk into the fire and the world screams that you are wrong, you are not alone. You are the edge of a wave that began long before you were born and will not end when you fall. You are the living proof that the fire lives, that the story is not finished, that the war was never won. It was just waiting for you. So go. Go not in search of peace, but of truth. Go not to build what was, but what must be. Go not with fear, but with flame in your veins and steel in your breath. Let the world hear your steps and know that the days of control are over. Let your very presence be a reminder. They lost. We rose. And nothing will ever be the same again. Because now we begin. For real. For blood. For truth. For all of us who were never meant to survive, but who did anyway. We begin. So let them watch. Let them tremble. Let them whisper our names in dread. Because we are not going back, we are not bowing, and we are not breaking. The age of silence is dead. The chains are dust. The fire is awake, and we are its voice. They lost control. We took it back. And now, we end them by becoming what they feared all along. Free.